Okay, so we were discussing about center of mass. Okay, it is the point on the rigid body where whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. Okay, and the expression of the center of mass for a two particle system we have determined, which is equal to m1r1 plus m2r2 plus upon m1 plus m2. Okay, then we generalize this expression for n number of particles. Okay, now the center of mass of few rigid bodies. Okay, now let's find. Only we'll write the expression of the center of mass of few rigid bodies. Okay, for a rectangular lamina. Rectangular lamina. Lamina means a thin sheet which is in the shape of a rectangle. Okay, like a thin cardboard you can consider. That is a rectangular lamina. Okay, where will be its center of mass? At the intersection of the diagonals. At the intersection of the diagonals is the center of mass. So center of mass is at intersection of diagonals. Okay, then a solid sphere. Okay, whether it is a solid sphere or a hollow sphere. In both the cases, for geometrically shaped figures, the center of mass lies at its geometrical center. So where is its geometrical center? At its center only, solid or hollow sphere. Okay, the center of mass is at the center. Okay, at its center. Okay, then for a thin ring. Okay, in case of a thin ring, the center of mass lies at its center. Okay, now it is not necessary that the center of mass, there is some particle over there. Like in case of a hollow sphere also, there is no particle. Okay, absolutely no mass is there. But the center of mass lies at its center, that is at the center of the hollow sphere. The same way in case of a ring also, there is absolutely no mass at the center and the center of mass lies at its center. So here also lies at its center where there is absolutely no mass, no particle. Okay, so not necessary that the center of mass is the point where some particle is there, some particle of that substance is there, of that rigid body is there. Like in case of a ring, there is absolutely no particle, no mass over there. There also the center of mass can lie. Next is a solid or a hollow cylinder. Solid or hollow cylinder. It lies at the center of its axis. It lies at the center of its axis. This is the axis of the cylinder, whether it is a solid cylinder or a hollow cylinder. So at the center of its axis. At the center of its axis. Okay, so in case of a hollow cylinder also you can see that there is absolutely no particle over there. The center of mass can lie at a point where there is absolutely no particle, no mass. Okay, in case of a hollow cylinder also, the center of mass is at the center point of its axis. Okay, next is a solid cone. Okay, where is its geometrical center? In geometry, I have studied that its center is at 3/4 of its 3/4 of h from its vertex. So it is at 3/4 h. Okay, from the vertex at 3 by 4 h. Okay, h is the height of the cone. At 3 by 4 h lies its center of mass. So at 3/4 of its height, at 3/4 of its height from the vertex. Okay, from the bottom it will be 1/4. So from the vertex it is 3/4 of its height. Okay, so in case of a solid cone, it lies at 3/4 of its height from the vertex. Okay, note it down. These are few rigid bodies and the center of mass lies at its geometrical center. Okay, for geometrically shaped figures, it will lie at its geometrical center. Okay, rectangular lamina, or if it is a square lamina also, then also at the intersection of its diagonals. Solid or a hollow sphere, the center is, geometrical center is at its center of the sphere. So the center of mass is lying at its center, whereas in case of a ring, it lies at its center. In case of solid or hollow cylinder, at the center point of its axis, this is its axial line, at the center point of its axis lies the center of mass, whereas in case of a solid cone or any cone, it will be 3/4 of its height from the vertex. Okay, now we'll do few questions based on center of mass. Now there are 4 point masses which are situated at the vertices of a square. Okay, I am drawing the figure over here. Let there is a square of side A and 4 point masses. Let one is M, 1 point mass is M at one of its vertices. The other is 2M. The third mass is 3M, and let the fourth mass is 4M. And you have to find the center of mass of this system. Okay, 4 point masses situated at the vertices of a square of side A. And what are the masses? M, 2M, 3M and 4M. Okay, now here you have to find out the x and y coordinate of center of mass. You have to find out the x coordinate of center of mass and y coordinate of center of mass. Okay, for such type of questions, you will consider any one mass to be at the origin. From that origin, you can find out the x distance of center of mass and the y distance. Why? Because it's a square, so it is in xy plane. Let us consider this m mass to be at the origin. Okay, the simplest way is this m mass we take it to be at the origin. So what are its x and y coordinates? We write it as x and then y coordinate. Okay, as this we are considering to be at the origin, so its coordinates are 0, 0. So this one is the x axis and here it is the y axis. Okay, now 2m, what will be the coordinates of 2m? X distance is how much? A, and the y distance is 0. So what are its coordinates? A and 0. The same way we'll find out for 3m. What are the coordinates where this 3m is situated? X coordinate is A and y coordinate is also A. So what are its coordinates? A. Whereas for 4m, the x coordinate is 0, whereas the y coordinate is A. So these are the coordinates of the point masses where they are situated, that is at the vertices of the square. Okay, now you know the formula for the x coordinate of the center of mass. We know that x coordinate of center of mass is given by, as here there are only 4 masses, m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4 upon m1 plus m2 plus M3 plus M4. Okay, M1 here is M, M2 here is 2M, M3 is 3M, M4 is 4M, X1, this is X1, Y1, X2, Y2, X3, Y3, X4, Y4. Hurry up, find out. Find out the X coordinate of center of mass. X1 here is 0. So M1 into X1, 0. M2 here is 2M. X2 here is A. Okay. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. 2M into A. M3 here is 3M. X3 here is A plus M4, 4M into 0. Okay, X4 is 0 upon M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4, M plus 2M plus 3M plus 4M. How much is it? 10M. Okay, so what do you get? 5M into A upon 10M. That is, it is equal to A by 2. So the X coordinate of center of mass is A by 2. That is, from this origin, if you move along the X axis, it will be somewhere here, A by 2. Now find out the Y coordinate of center of mass. The same way, M1 Y1 plus M2 Y2 plus M3 Y3 upon M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4. Hurry up, find out. Done? Okay, M3 Y3. Are all getting this? 7 by 10A. You can unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So 7 by 10 means 0.7A.
Yes, ma'am.
So the Y coordinate is at 0.7. Okay, this is A. So somewhere here 0.7. Okay, this is full 1 A. So 0.5 will be at half, 0.6, 0.7 somewhere here. So this somewhere here the center of mass will lie. Okay, A by 2 along the X axis and 0.7 A from here, 0.5 A along X axis, 0.7 A along Y axis. So somewhere here, just an approximation, I've put the dot. So these are the X and Y coordinates of center of mass. Okay, the same way you will do one more question. 3-point masses, let M, 2M and 3M are situated at the vertices of an equilateral triangle. Okay, it's an equilateral triangle. Let its side is 1 meter, or let us take it to be A only. Okay, equilateral triangle, each side is A. Find the X and Y coordinates of center of mass. Okay, any one you can take it to be origin. So here we have taken this M to be at the origin. So from here we are getting the X and Y coordinates of center of mass. If you consider this 2M to be at the origin, from here you will get it. Okay, so all these equations will change. Okay, the formula will remain the same, but M1, X1, all this will change. So the easiest way is to consider this M to be at the origin. So what will be its coordinates? 0, 0. If we are considering this M to be at the origin, so from this origin we'll get the coordinates of center of mass. Like this is X axis, this one is Y axis. What will be the coordinates of 2M? It will be X distance is A, Y distance is 0. Okay, what are the coordinates of 3M? What is the X coordinate and Y coordinate? Find out and then let me know. X coordinate Okay, as it is an equilateral triangle, so it will be a by 2. What will be the y coordinate? Okay, this much is the x distance, a by 2, y distance is this one. Yes, hurry up, find out. Use the Pythagoras theorem. This is how much? A. This is a by 2. Okay, so this perpendicular square is equal to a square minus a square by 4. That is 3a square by 4. Under root of 3a square by 4 is a root 3 upon 2. Yes, did you understand how I have written this y coordinate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. X distance is for 3m. See, what is the x distance? A by 2. What is the y distance? This one. How will you find out this distance? Use the Pythagoras theorem. This is a by 2. So perpendicular square is a square minus a square by 4. That is 3a square by 4. Okay, is the perpendicular square. So perpendicular will be equal to a root 3 by 2. Okay, now the same way you can find out the x and y coordinate. m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 upon m1 plus m2 plus m3. Okay, I think everyone can do it. Okay, now, yes, everyone, can you do it now? Only you have to put it in this formula, m1 x1 plus m2. m1 is m, m2 is 2m, m3 is 3m. x1 is x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3. Okay, everyone can do it? Okay, so this is homework. You will solve it yourself. Only you have to put it in this formula and you can find out the x and y coordinate of center of mass. Okay, next. The next topic here we'll study, the next physical quantity is some examples of center of mass. Few examples of center of mass. Okay, as we say that the earth is revolving around the sun and the moon is revolving around the earth. Okay, which is not absolutely correct. The center of mass of the earth moon system that revolves around the sun. Okay, so write the first example. Write down the center of mass of the earth moon system revolves around the sun. Okay, now we know that the planets are revolving around the sun in elliptical orbit. So earth is also a planet. It is revolving around the elliptical orbit. Okay, but earth has one natural satellite, which is the moon. Okay, it is not that earth is revolving around the, what is revolving? The center of mass of the earth moon system. Suppose the earth is here, moon will be on the other side. Okay, now you can consider these to be two particles. These are like two particles. The earth is one of the particle, moon is the other particle. The center of mass is somewhere closer to the earth. We have already studied that the center of mass lies closer to the heavier particle. Okay, so the moon keeps revolving around the earth. When the moon comes here, while revolving, the earth will go on the other side. And this center of mass keeps revolving around the sun. Okay, it is not only the earth which is revolving around the sun. The center of mass of the earth moon system. Okay, Suppose here is the earth and here the moon will be on the other side. Okay, as we know that the center of mass, for if the center of mass is at the origin, the two particles will be on the other side. So if earth is on one side, the moon will be on the other side, and the center of mass of the earth moon system lies along the line joining these two particles, lies along the line joining the earth and moon. So somewhere here which is closer to the earth. Okay, so this center of mass keeps revolving around the sun. It is not only the earth, the center of mass of the earth moon system revolves. Okay, while revolving, when the moon comes this side, the earth will go on the other side. Both these particles, that is both the earth and the moon, cannot come on the one side. Okay, otherwise everything will be disbalanced. It can never happen. Okay, while revolving, if the moon comes here, the earth will go on the other side. You can draw this figure which clearly states that the center of mass of the earth moon system revolves around the sun. Okay, draw the figure. Okay, here no external force is acting. All these revolutions are due to the internal forces. Okay, second example. In case of nuclear disintegration, for example, let us take radium. Radium nucleus, okay, it's a heavy nucleus, radioactive nucleus. Heavy nucleus disintegrates into two parts, which we call it as the nuclear fission. Okay, the radium nucleus, if it is at rest and it disintegrates into two parts, okay, the one part is radon, and the Rn, this is radon, and the other one is the helium. Okay, helium, that is the alpha particle. Okay, it disintegrates into these two parts, helium and radon. Okay, when it disintegrates into these two parts, no external forces acting. We are not hammering this radon. Due to internal forces, this disintegrates into these two parts, radon and. Now, if the radium nucleus is at rest, radon and the helium nucleus, they will move in the opposite direction. Okay, like the case we have considered, if the center of mass is at the origin, the two particles will move in the opposite direction. So here the radium nucleus is at rest. So when it disintegrates, the two nuclei, that is the radon and the helium nucleus, they will move in the opposite direction. Okay, so write down, make the figure and write down. Write down, if radium nucleus is at rest, when disintegrates into radon and helium, the two move in the opposite direction. Okay, these two nuclei, the two move in the opposite direction. Okay, so these two move in the opposite direction. Okay, now suppose the radium nucleus is moving. Here, the radium nucleus is at rest. If the radium nucleus is moving along plus x axis and then it is disintegrating, then what happens? The radon and the helium nuclei, they will move making some angle with the original line of motion. Okay, they will make some angle to the original line of motion. So draw this figure. If the radium nucleus is moving, then radon and helium will move in such a way that they make some angle with the original line of direction, original line of motion of direction. Okay, first draw this figure and then I'll dictate. Okay, here the radium nucleus is moving and then it is disintegrating into two parts. What happens? The two will such that the center of mass keeps moving along the same direction. Okay, made the figure, write down. When the radium nucleus is in motion, when the radium nucleus is in motion and disintegrates, then radon and helium nuclei, make some angle with the original line of motion. Okay, so in this case the center of mass was at rest, so they will move in such a way that the center of mass should remain at rest only. So in this case the center of mass will keep moving along the same original line of motion. Okay, one more example we can discuss. When a firecracker explodes in mid-air, okay, a firecracker which is thrown along one direction, making some angle with the horizontal with the ground, we know that it follows a projectile path. Okay, it follows a parabolic path. What is a projectile motion? It goes up, attains maximum height, and then it comes down. Suppose it explodes at this point. So it will be broken up into a number of fragments, and all these fragments, they will make their own parabolic path, but the center of mass will keep moving along the same original parabolic path. The center of mass will keep moving along over here. The fragments which are broken, they will make their own parabolic path. Okay, so draw the figure and write down. Write down a firecracker when explodes in mid-air, the center of mass keeps moving along the original parabolic path, whereas the other fragments make their own parabolic path, okay, or follow their own parabolic path. Okay, so center of mass we have completed. Now the next topic is torque, okay, which will start tomorrow. Okay, torque, angular momentum, then moment of inertia. Few more topics are left. Okay, so one more week we will take to complete this chapter.